Welcome to the KNEO Community Connection, where we keep our finger on the pulse of what's coming up in the four-state area, telling you about upcoming events you don't want to miss, organizations in our area doing great work, and conversations with the dynamic citizens who are making it all happen. I'm your host, Luke Taylor, and this is a production of KNEO Radio in Neosho, Missouri, and the Sky High Podcast Network. And it's been exciting out here at the radio station for the past month, and I'm actually really looking forward to telling you about what's been going on here at the station. Really big things happening. But first, some exciting news for you. We have your weekend plans all lined out. A couple of fun events are coming up in Southwest Missouri this Saturday night. And so it's great that you tuned in today to the podcast. We want to let you know about some stuff going on. And for the first one, we have a conversation today with Shannon Walker of the Aurora Chamber of Commerce. She's the executive director out there, and she's going to tell us about what's going on in Aurora this Saturday evening. Hey, Shannon, thanks for joining the KNEO Community Connection.
You are so welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it looks like you guys have an exciting event going on over there in Aurora on Saturday. And why don't you tell us about it?
So on Saturday, June the 17th, we will be having our annual Light the Night Fireworks Festival. The gates at Baldwin Park open at 5 p.m., and that is in Aurora, Missouri, on the north side of our community.
And so we are getting to that time of year where people like going to watch the fireworks, and it looks like you all are one of the first people to shoot them off in this area. And so this is a great event for people who just like going to watch that kind of thing.
Absolutely, and we encourage everyone to come. There is no admission to come into the park. We do accept donations, but that is completely up to you as you're coming into the park. This is our 13th year, and for 12 years before that, Aurora had not had fireworks. So we did some research and tried to find out when everybody was having theirs, and we chose to do ours always the first Saturday after Flag Day. It just so happens it always falls on Father's Day weekend, too. So it's a great place for you to bring the family and celebrate Dad. We have lots and lots of food trucks coming. We have craft vendors. This year, we are adding a couple things. We have a bounce house sponsored by Arvest Bank. We have what's called knocker balls for the kids, and they're like big hamster balls, and the kids get to play like a live foosball game. So we have that, and we will have the Power Wheels course, which are the smaller powered Jeeps and motorcycles and little things for the kids. We have, of course, taco trucks. We have barbecue coming. We have shaved ice. Snowflakes will be there serving shaved ice. We have one of our local restaurants, Bazzona's, is doing a lemonade stand. So it's always a really, really fun time. We do encourage people to bring their chairs. We do have live music that starts at 7 p.m. by a local band called Cover Charged. So we'll have music from 7 to 9, and then at 9:30, our fireworks go off.
So it looks like y'all open the gates at 5 o'clock, but people can go ahead and bring their chairs and get set up, have their spot reserved. And sounds like there's a lot of fun stuff to do, a lot more going on than just a fireworks show, but there's a lot of fun stuff to do out there until the fireworks get started.
That is correct. Yeah. So come early, find a good spot. We do have lots of parking inside the park, and we encourage people to come to the park because part of our fireworks show is lower, and there's a line of trees. So you can see the fireworks from outside of the park, but the show is really the best when you're inside the park.
Okay. Well, hey, that's all going to get started at 5 o'clock on Saturday, June 17th. If you want to show up as early as 5, but the fireworks get started at 9:30, and looks like a lot of fun stuff to do in the meantime. So, hey, Shannon, thank you so much for telling us about this.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We're going to take a very short break, and then I have some more information to share with you about a free concert going on in Joplin this Saturday night.
Are you walking in everything God has for you? Hi, I'm Pastor Gary Culp, and I'd like to invite you to check out the Exceedingly Abundant Ministries podcast, available from the Sky High Podcast Network. This 30-minute weekly Bible study will give you time to grow spiritually and get to know God and His Word on a deeper level. God has more in store for you than you ever realized. Listen to Exceedingly Abundant Ministries today and learn about how God can do more with your life than you ever imagined.
and we are back. This program, the KNEO Community Connection, it mainly exists so that we can tell KNEO's listeners, people in our coverage area, about events going on in KNEO's coverage area. But I would like to take a moment and just tell you about some things going on at KNEO. We have had an exciting month here at the station. We just put up a brand new 340-foot tower right here on site at our station. And as of a week ago, depending on when you're listening to this, but on Thursday, June 8th, we flipped it on. There's a little more to it than just flipping it on. The construction crew came out here and they rewired the tower, took some stuff off the old tower, moved it to the new tower. We were off the air for about 4 hours, and then they turned it on. And as of now, we are broadcasting from our brand new tower. This is a part of a construction project, a fundraising campaign that really started last year in August. And we found out that our previous tower, it had been on our site for 30 years. I think 34 years is how old it is right now. And at the time that we got it, it was used metal at that time. And so just over the years, due to wear and tear, just the natural corrosion and all that of metal, we found out that it was not going to stand forever, that we were going to need to go ahead and replace it. And so that's what we have done. We've built, as I said, it's a 340-foot tower. That is the same size as our old tower. It's the same height. However, we have all new broadcast equipment and all new antenna, all new transmission line, all new hookups going up the tower. And so even though it's the same size, same power output that we were doing before, our signal is going further than it ever has. It sounds better than it ever has before. And so if you're a listener in our coverage area, you might want to flip us on and just check out the signal, because we are coming in more clearly than ever. And people who are maybe a little bit on the edge of our broadcast bubble where we used to reach before, it should be coming through a lot stronger now. And in fact, we're reaching to a further distance. We're not ready to announce just yet how far out we go, because we haven't quite calculated all that just yet. But we'll try to let you know pretty soon that we are having a further reach than ever before. And so we are very thankful to all of our donors, everybody who could help make that happen. And we are just very excited to be on the air and continuing to broadcast 91.7. Mainly preaching and teaching programs. So God's Word is what we are all about. And so we have mainly preaching and teaching programs, but we also love to cover this local community. And now that we reach further out than ever before, we can cover more than ever before. And so we're excited about that as well. And so we have one more event, one more thing to tell you about today, and one more interview to bring you. And it's regarding a fundraiser concert that is going on this Saturday, June 17th, and it's going to be at Joplin Family Worship Center. They're located at 5290 East 7th Street. I think I'll say that again in a moment here on the interview. But we're going to be putting on a concert that's a fundraiser concert to help us pay for this tower, because we were able to put it up. We had to go ahead and put it up, and we were just hoping the donations could come in so that we could put it all up debt-free. And as of right now, things look very good, but we do need to keep the campaign going for a bit longer, because we do need to get those. We haven't paid all of the bills yet. And by the time those bills come due, we want to be able to pay them, as I said, without going into debt. And so that's where we're at right now. We're just trying to raise the remaining funds that we still need to raise in order to pay for this whole project. And one of the ways we're going to try to do that is with a fundraiser concert going on this Saturday. It's going to be in Joplin. And here's a great thing about it. It's free to get in. We are going to take up a love offering. But if you've already donated to the Strong Tower campaign before, or even if you haven't, but if you would just like to come on out and enjoy a concert, we would love to have you. And we will and invite a friend, bring somebody along with you. It's going to be a great night. We are going to be receiving a love offering at the concert. And this concert is going to feature two different musical groups. They're known as Grafted In and the Missourians. And so we have great relationships with both of those groups, and we are so grateful to them, so thankful they've agreed to do this concert for us and help us to raise those remaining funds that we need for the tower. And so we have a conversation here today with Walter Hayes. He is part of the group Grafted In. It is actually he and his wife, Regina, and we've known them, good friends of the station for a long time. And we're going to have a conversation with him and let him tell you about the music of Grafted In. And so, hey, Walter, thanks for joining us today on the KNEO Community Connection.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
We are really excited about this weekend, and I know it's going to be a great time. Why don't you tell everybody what it's going to be like?
Well, we're basically, my wife and I grafted in, and then the Missourian are coming together to put on what I think is going to be a great concert there on Saturday night. And we'll take up an offering. We'll receive an offering sometime during the night. And everything we receive that night will go toward the Strong Tower campaign. The only money, if you will, that either group will receive that night would be if we happen to sell something at the table. Everything else is going to go toward the Strong Tower campaign.
Well, we are really appreciative of that. It's very generous of y'all to spend your time and your talents and gifts to do that for the radio station here. And what kind of music is Grafted In?
I don't know that I would try to peg us to anything in particular. We will do what people would recognize as Southern gospel. We will do some more contemporary style music. We will do at least one worship song during our set. So, if somebody asks me what kind of music we really do, I tell them a little bit of everything. I try not to get tied down to a particular style or genre, if you will. Hopefully we're going to sing something during the night that somebody's going to like. Yeah,
something for everybody. If they like Jesus, they're going to like something in there, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that is this Saturday evening, and so it is going to get started at 6 p.m. The Missourians are going to be there as well, and they've performed for some of our listener appreciation nights in the past, and so we know that a lot of people enjoyed their music as well. Tell us about how Grafted In got started.
Well, I had sung with the quartet for a number of years. I was with the Ascension Quartet, and we actually did one of the listener appreciation banquets as well back in 2020, I think. And the guys all decided for various reasons that they wanted to come off the road. And so we were actually on our way to meet with a couple of different record companies about a new project. And on the way there, I talked to my wife, Regina, about just come in with me on the quartet and we'll pick up new guys. Change is just one of those things that happen. Invariably, if you record a project or take pictures, somebody's going to leave. That's just kind of the way it seems to work. And she agreed, but when we had the meeting with the first record company, they were the ones that actually suggested that perhaps we just go out as a duet. And the more we thought about it, that certainly made logistics easier. The interesting part is that I sing bass primarily, and my wife is a soprano. So it was about trying to kind of meld that or graft that, if you will. So the name Grafted In has a number of different connotations, if you will, to it.
Yeah. But I think that also just kind of speaks to the unique style of you guys, as you were mentioning before, that you don't try to really pigeonhole it into just one musical genre, but it shows that you all are just really a blending of two different styles.
Yeah, we will open with a Jim and Melissa Brady song. We'll do a number of songs that my wife wrote. We'll do, like I said, we'll do at least one worship song during the night. So we're going to do a little bit of everything.
Wow. And so when it came along to the idea for this concert, is that something that you all came up with, or how did all that come about?
In service one Sunday, it just really, I don't remember if Mark had said something that day or exactly what it was, but I just felt impressed that was something that we should do to, basically sow seed, if you will, into KNEO and the work that they're doing. So my wife and I met with Mark one day, told him what I wanted to do, and then I reached out to Troy Wade and asked them if they would be interested in coming in with us on this idea, and they immediately said yes, they'd do it. And so that's kind of how it started, and then it was just basically picking a date from there. So, and we finally came up with this Saturday night.
Yeah, well, hey, that is awesome of you guys to do that for us. And so we're just excited about that. We really appreciate everyone coming out this weekend and supporting the station, supporting the concert, and getting to hear some awesome music with Grafted In and the Missourians. And again, that's going to be at Joplin Family Worship Center on Saturday evening, June 17th. It gets started at 6 p.m. And we've been speaking today with Walter Hayes. He and his wife, Regina, are Grafted In. Hey, Walter, thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely. So glad to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, and we look forward to this weekend.